The Midnight Black edition of the PlayStation Portal has finally arrived and I'm super excited. I've literally just picked this up from the post office earlier because I wasn't going to be home when it got delivered. So I'm going to get it unboxed and we're going to have a little play around with it. Now I'm not going to do a full impressions video. You can already check out that video here. I did that a couple of months ago. What I'm going to do with this is I want to just basically have a look at it. Let's open it together, see what it's all about. And I'm also going to take a look at the updated cloud games list. You can actually play PlayStation 5 games on the cloud using the Portal without actually having the PlayStation 5. So I'm going to see what that list looks like now, because the last time I checked it, it was probably about a few months ago. So there's definitely going to be some new games that are added on there.
Today's sponsor spot is brought to you by Quintus and their remote control dual source light bar pro. Wow, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? So what is a monitor lamp bar then? Quintus's monitor lamp bar can help you reduce the strain on your eyes when gaming or working in a really low lit environment. This monitor light bar has different brightness levels and different color temperatures, which allows you to customize and really fine tune to your own personal taste. In the box you get a pretty standard USB cable, a mounting bracket which is also magnetic to help it stay in place, and this also ensures universal compatibility across various types of different monitors, be it flat or curved. You also get some batteries and a touch screen module controller. What's it, my jobby? I absolutely love peeling off peely peels. I call them peely peels, by the way. Super satisfying. Just look at that shiny surface which is just begging to be covered in some fresh oily fingerprints. Also in the box is the monitor light bar itself, which on this particular model is double-sided. So not only does it shine down onto your desk, it also projects light onto the wall above your monitor, which you can see in these shots here. You see how the light is shining down onto the desk, so even though I have a bright screen in front of my face and I am in a dark room, I can still comfortably see the keyboard, mouse and everything else. Having the monitor light bar on helps just relieve eye fatigue, like I mentioned earlier, and at the same time creates a lovely warm atmosphere. If you are interested in purchasing one of these awesome monitor light bars, please check out the link in the description below.
So Sony announced back in January their new Midnight Black collection, which included not only the PlayStation Portal but also their Pulse headphones, the DualSense Edge and the wireless earphones as well. I've only got the Portal though because I'm not made of money. So as you know, Nathan came on the channel recently. You think in your head, dear? I think in my head as well. We still haven't thought of a name for the channel yet, so if you've got any suggestions, please comment below. But we are working on it. We want something that hopefully is going to be memorable, and in a few years' time we're not going to regret it. You can change the name of a YouTube channel every 6 months, but I don't want to make a habit of doing that. I want to try and come up with something that's cool the first time around. So Nathan actually has the white PlayStation Portal now, and I kind of wish I had it here today just to compare the two, but we'll have to do that another time. So first things first, the box doesn't look any different. In fact, looking around the box, I actually can't find any information in writing about the colour being Midnight Black. Obviously, we know it's black because there's a picture of it there, but the packaging basically is identical to the white version. There is seemingly not even any difference in terms of the print or any writing. It is essentially just they've done a picture swap out. So a bit boring really, a bit non-interesting. I thought there would have been a bit more of flair with the box. With the fact that it's the Midnight Black edition, I thought the box would be like this cool midnight sky or something. I thought there'd be a little bit more to it, but it's just a bit basic really. So I'm actually opening this with you guys for the first time. I've literally not opened it. It still has the seals on. I haven't had a sneak preview yet. My reaction to this will be genuine.
So first things first, let's get that seal broken. There's nothing like opening something for the first time. I absolutely love it. I must admit, the packaging is quite an exciting thing to open, especially the way you open up the cardboard inserts and the way that there's little printouts on everything. It's nice. I do like opening new stuff. Here's the actual Portal itself. You do get like a little manual in there, but nobody ever reads it. You've got USB Type-C to Type-C, which is for charging. Now it's time to open the Portal from the packaging. Wow, that looks absolutely beautiful. Because of the black, it's got this kind of coating on it that when you touch it with your fingers or your thumbs, it kind of leaves this little imprint just for a few seconds, which is kind of cool. I really like the black because it contrasts well with the bezel, because the bezel's black, all kind of goes together. Here's a little top-down view, everything just looking really uniform. But I must admit, it's a bit sexy if you ask me. I think the back's one of my favourite angles. Again, just look how it all blends in. You don't have that black and white, it's just kind of all one colour. And if you notice as well, just like the white one, when you zoom right in, you can actually see that the grip is actually made up of the PlayStation symbols. So you've got to do a quick obligatory check the buttons. Right, now's the time for the peely peel. I call it peely peel, by the way. I absolutely love this moment. Whether you're buying TVs, laptops, anything with something shiny and you get to pull it off for the first time, it's so satisfying. Just look at that. Oh, there's me. Hi. Absolutely beautiful. I'm really in love with the black. It just kind of all goes well. Like all the buttons, they all just blend in really well. Let's get it turned on, and we've got to go through the setup process, which is quite lengthy actually. I think it takes about 15 minutes for the, once you get connected to the internet and you get to download the update and install it, it's about 15 minutes. So obviously I sped this up as quick as I could. On my other video, I do go in a little bit more depth as to the setup process, but you've been here before. A lot of you'll know what to do. But again, you can always refer back to that video if you do need help setting it up. But it's pretty simple. Once you get connected to your internet, it does download a big update. Once it's downloaded the update and installed it, it then presents you with the QR code in which you can scan using your phone. And if you don't already have the PlayStation app downloaded, it will prompt you to download it. And that way you can link your account and your PlayStation 5. Right, and now we're all set up and ready to go. So the PlayStation Portal should now attempt to connect to the PlayStation 5 or your PlayStation 5 Pro. I do always find that the first time setting up a Portal does take a little bit longer to actually connect to your PlayStation on the network, but once it is connected, generally reconnections after that are really, really quick. And now it's come up with the ready to play message. So as soon as that comes up, you can click that and then it zooms into your remote play screen. And here I am able to view my PlayStation 5 now on the handheld. First things first, what I always test is I boot up Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's just my go-to game. I always boot this up the first time whenever I reconnect my Portal, just to check that everything's working. Just having a quick run around here. But yeah, everything seems to be working as it should be. So yeah, I'm dead happy with that.
So what do we think, guys? I think black really suits it. What I really like about it is the fact that these LEDs down the sides of the controller here, because of the black, they really contrast well. So they stick out now. So the blue looks absolutely stunning. So now that we've actually done an unboxing and we've seen what it looks like, I must admit, it's very fingerprint showy. What's the word I'm looking for? Basically, when your fingers are hot and you let go, it kind of leaves a slight imprint on it, but then it kind of disappears. It's kind of weird to see, but I am impressed. I do like the color of it. It's beautiful, I must admit. I think it looks better than the white one, if I'm honest. Anyway, enough about the color. I want to check out the latest games that have been added to the cloud streaming service. So if you are a premium member, you can access on-demand games and you can play these without a PlayStation 5. Now, unfortunately, still at the moment, it is in beta, so you can only select from the games that basically Sony decide that you can select from. However, there seems to have been a lot more games added on there since I last took a look at this. So I remember going down here, the last time I filmed using the cloud service was around when they released Jurassic World Evolution 2 and Sonic and Jak and Daxter. So we've had 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So around 24 new games added to the cloud service since I last took a look at this. I'm not sure how many of those games came in one go, whether they came over a staggered time period, but it looks like they've definitely added quite a few new games. In fact, some of these are actually really new. So the Orcs Must Die 3, that one's actually a brand new release. So that's good to see that on there. We've got Citizen Sleeper, God of War Ragnarok. That's fantastic. It's such a good game. Like I'm about halfway through it. It's amazing. And then we've also got Jedi Survivor and Lost Records. Now, Lost Records, I do believe, is made from the same people that made the original Life is Strange. So I'll definitely be taking a look at that. I know there's only chapter 1 or part 1 out now, and part 2 will come at a later date. I think it's coming out in April. I actually have a save for God of War Ragnarok, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot it up and I'm going to see whether or not it just goes straight into my save that I've got on the PlayStation 5. Brilliant. So as soon as I boot it up, I actually do have the continue button, so that's always a good sign. And yep, I'm straight into the game where I left off. I actually don't know where I need to go or what I'm doing right now because I actually haven't played this game in absolutely ages. I don't think there's out for me to do here. So what do I think of the Midnight Black PlayStation Portal? I really, really like it. I think the colour contrasts really well. I like the fact that it's just like a nice uniform colour across now. So your black bezel of your screen also matches the surround. So I like it for that reason. I think it's great that the LEDs now really pop. They're much more noticeable, whereas if you were playing on the white one, they were a little bit more subdued. I think, again, I'll say what I said before on my actual more in-depth review of the PlayStation Portal. It's a value-added item. For me, it's not something that I personally would purchase on its own without a PlayStation 5. I still firmly believe that to get the most enjoyment out of the Portal, you do need a PlayStation 5. But with the value added services such as cloud streaming, it's getting more able to be separated from the PlayStation 5, best way I could say it. Like if you don't have your PlayStation 5 with you, or you turned on, you don't own one, you still have access to, now let me work this out, there's 54 rows of games, each row has 4. So 54 times 4, 4 fours are 60. So 216, 17 games now is available on the cloud streaming service, which is quite a lot of games. I think that's more games than what came out for the Nintendo 64. Just off the top of my head, please correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong. But just going down the list, there is absolutely tons of stuff here. There are some duds, there are some stuff that I probably wouldn't touch with a barge pole. There's a range of games from like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, 4 and 5. So it's quite a good selection there. You do have a good couple of first party titles on there, especially things like your Spider-Man, your God of War, and you've also got like Ratchet and Clank, things like that. I do think it's a great addition for someone who likes the PlayStation ecosystem, for somebody who is very fully invested into PlayStation and what PlayStation is about. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As adults, we can kind of choose how we spend our money, and there are people who are in the Apple ecosystem, there are people that are in the Sony and PlayStation ecosystem, there are people that are in the Xbox ecosystem, and there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, if you want to spend money on kind of increasing your experience within that ecosystem, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Other alternatives to the PlayStation Portal for me would be the ROG Ally. Now I purchased the ROG Ally quite recently actually, and I only paid £350 for it. I got it second hand, but this, for an extra £150, you could get a fully fledged handheld PC, which obviously has its benefits. It has much more features than what the Portal has. That's something to keep in mind, but again, that's £200 versus £350, depending on obviously the condition of it, and it is second hand, whereas the Portal is brand new. The good thing about the Portal is, I was just going to say it just works, but actually, as we all know, last week Sony's network went down completely for around 23 hours. You couldn't even use the Portal at all. So I'll take back what I was almost going to say, which is it works. It does work. It generally just, you pick it up and you turn it on and you connect your PlayStation 5 and away you go. But again, it is very dependent on your internet connection. Your game experience is very dependent on your internet connection, and especially cloud streaming as well. So if your internet connection is not absolutely locked down, if your PS5 is not connected via an Ethernet cable, just be aware that you might have a bit of a hit and miss experience. But that's pretty much for me today. This is kind of a shorter video. I just wanted to kind of do a quick unboxing of it because I've done a big video. I've reviewed the Portal previously, and how you set the Portal up and everything is no different. This is simply just a colour change. If you already have a Portal, you want the black one, then if you've got plenty of money, go buy one, there's not stopping you. For me, if you already have a white one and you simply want it because it's black, it's one of those things, and it's like, how much is it? How much is a new colour worth to you at the end of the day? Like if you traded your white one in, got a decent payment for it, and it only cost you 50 quid to get the black one, then do it. But I don't think it's worth kind of forking out additionally just to get the black one. Today, if I was going out to buy a PlayStation Portal and I could choose between white or black, then I would simply choose the black one, because for me, I do like the look of it. Same with the PlayStation 5 Pro. I wish it came in black. As soon as they launch the midnight black plates for that, I'm going to definitely purchase those. I do like the black aesthetic, but it's like everything in it. Like the ROG at the moment, the first ROG, it's in white, and I would have liked it to be black. Obviously, the ROG Ally X is out now, which is black, and I just much prefer the more uniform colour, because for me, when you've got a screen with thick bezels, they kind of stick out when you've got black contrasted onto white. So yes, I think Sony did right making a black version, but they just took a long time to do it. I think they should have brought the black version out a long time ago. Anyway, I'm rambling. That's enough from me. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and tick that notification box for notifications that may or may not appear on your screen. I'm kind of wanting to know in the comments what kind of videos you guys are like looking for. What kind of videos would you like me to do? I am contemplating doing some kind of benchmarking videos on the ROG Ally, for example. Maybe some new games on the PC. I don't know. There's a lot going on right now. I'm so busy. I have just brought Nathan on board the channel. Nathan's come on board. He's been really busy kind of putting out YouTube shorts and things like that. So I keep saying to Nathan, because we stress about things, but it's a marathon, it's not a race. At the end of the day. No way, that's not the same. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I'd rather release videos when they're ready rather than try to rush to get them out. For me, I'd rather the quality be there rather than the quantity, but we'll see. Like, you know, you guys ultimately are the ones that decide whether this content's good or not. So anyway, that's enough from me. Goodbye, and I'll see you guys in the next one.